everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be going through my July. My brain just can't seem to process that we are going into July, but we are going to be going through my July reading plans. I am in the best reading mood at the moment. I just am having so much fun with my reading. I just want to blast through as many books as possible. I love when I get into this sort of like reading state of mind where I'm just literally buzzing to read all the books. Also, when we get to this time of the year, I do tend to crave romance, so the mixture of the season and the way I am currently feeling has meant that the majority of this TBR is romance, just because I am craving those fun, fast, fluffy romances. The ones that you just fly through, have the best time with. Nothing too depressing, nothing too dense or in-depth, just fun. So this TBR is predominantly romance. Sorry about that, but I am super excited for all the books that I've got here. So without further ado, I think we'll just get into the TBR. So the first book I have on my July TBR is Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. This is the second book in the Knock 'Em Out series. I read Things We Never Got Over last year or earlier this year, and I gave it 5 stars. I absolutely adored it and I didn't expect to love it anywhere near as much as I did, but I just flew through it despite it being quite a chunky book, and this one is also a chunker. But I just love Lucy Score's writing. I love the small town romance, and this is the second one in that series. It is about the guy in the first book's brother who is a police chief. We meet him in the first book. I did really like his character and I'm really excited to know more about him. So we're following him, and then Lena moves in next door, and I don't think this one can be Grumpy Sunshine because the first one was Grumpy Sunshine, but it does say that the last thing he needs is the leggy, smart-mouthed Lena Solavita moving in next door, making him feel things he doesn't have the energy to feel. It says Lena's on a mission. There's a reason she is in Knock 'Em Out. She plans to just get this thing done and then leave again, but then she finds herself sort of like cozying into the small town vibe. But then Nash discovers Lena's secret and they go from friends to enemies. And I'm assuming then enemies to lovers. So I think the main trope of this one is enemies to lovers. And I am really excited for it, but I've seen some bad reviews. I watched Steph Borer's video, I'm pretty sure, when she was reading this, and she was really not enjoying it at all. And I've just been so terrified to pick it up ever since, but fingers crossed I enjoy it. The next book I have on my TBR is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. I have only read one book by Lauren Asher before, and that was Throttled, which is the first book in the 30 Air series, I believe. The one about Formula One drivers, and I love that book. I definitely want to continue with the series, but this book and its friends have been screaming at me for so long now, and I've seen a few people reading the last one recently and enjoying it, so I feel like I need to get in there on this series. The first one is the main one on my TBR, but I kind of have a feeling that once I've read this I'll probably want to go into the others, so these are cautiously on the TBR as well. But these 3 are in the Dreamland Billionaire series, and I believe each one follows a different brother, and I believe they run like a sort of like Disneyland type place. So we follow Rowan in this one, who's one of the brothers, and then Zara, who gets a job working for the most difficult boss she'd ever met, who's Rowan. And I believe it's Grumpy Sunshine, maybe slightly enemies to lovers. It just says Rowan was rude and completely off limits, but my heart didn't care. At least not until I discovered his secret. It was time to teach the billionaire that money couldn't fix everything, especially not us. So I've heard really good things. I really enjoyed Lauren Asher's writing in Throttled, so fingers crossed I will also enjoy this series. Next up I have a star of another series. I seem to be really enjoying my romance series at the moment, and that is It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. Again, I do have its companion, Hook, Line and Sinker, so I may end up picking that one up as well. I haven't read any of Tessa Bailey's writing, so I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to feel about it. I have very high hopes because I've heard such good things about her book. So in this one I believe we follow Piper, who is like a total rich kid party girl, and then she lands herself in jail on like some wild night, and because of that her stepfather cuts her off and sends her and her sister to go and run the late father's dive bar in Westport, Washington. And I'm pretty sure this is like a total like cozy seaside town, obviously not her thing at all. And then she meets Brendan, who is like a total sailor, sea captain punk who thinks there's no chance she's gonna last out here. But Piper is determined to show her stepfather and Brendan that she is more than capable of sticking this out. Again, I think this is like Grumpy Sunshine. She's like the fun socialite, he's like the gruff sailor dude, and there's going to be obvious attraction between them from the start. So super excited for this one. I think it's the perfect summer read. Next up, I have another perfect summer read, and that is Beach Read by Emily Henry. Please ignore the like disgustingness here from where the sticker was. I need to clean it. But this will be my second book by Emily Henry. I did read Book Lovers last year and I loved it, but for some reason I've just never got around to any more of her books, and I'm really excited for this one because I feel like this is one of her most loved books. And in this one I think we followed two writers, January and Gus, who are both suffering from extreme writer's block. They decide to have this little bet where they will swap genres and see who gets published first. I think this one is enemies to lovers as well. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like I've heard it's enemies to lovers. You can see a lot of enemies to lovers in my TBR because it is my literal favourite trope. But yeah, I've heard really good things about this. I loved Emily Henry's writing. Fingers crossed this is going to be another 4 or 5 star read. I also have a couple of books that are on my Kindle. So I've got Twisted Love by Anna Huang. I am so excited to read this one. I have heard interesting things. I've basically heard that it's like really trashy, but like the good trash, and like I love the good trash. I am actually reading this one for the Literature Book Club, which Steph Loves runs, and I will be a co-host for the live show for that one, so I'm really excited to read the book and then discuss it. Again, this is the first in a series. I don't really know what I'm doing starting so many series when I never finish them, but who knows, maybe I've turned over a new leaf. This one is described as a brother's best friend, opposites attract romance with a hint of suspense. I'm not gonna lie to you, I literally have no idea what this book is about, but I see a warning at the bottom of Goodreads saying this book contains a possessive, morally grey alpha hole? Alpha hole? Is that a thing? I thought that was a typo. It was supposed to say alpha male, but maybe it's like asshole, but alpha hole. I love that. I did not know that was a thing. Explicit sexual content and profanity. No cheating or menage, but if you're looking for a traditionally sweet, lovable hero, this is not the book for you. I mean, I feel like I've got my lovable and sweet heroes from like these books, so I could do it with a morally grey, possessive alpha hole as well. I also have Flawless by Elsie Silver. This is the first book in another series, the Chestnut Springs series, I believe, and I have heard such amazing things about this series. I've been seeing it everywhere recently, like just out of nowhere, and again these are like small town country romances. They have been likened to the Knock 'Em Out series, and obviously like I said, I loved Things We Never Got Over, so I'm really looking for more books with that sort of vibe. This series again I think is like companion novels. I have such a trend going here with like we follow a different guy in this town in each book, fall in love with a different girl. Oh my god. I didn't know what this book was about and I just read the start of the blurb. The rules were simple. Keep my hands off his daughter and stay out of trouble. But now I'm stuck with her. There's only one bed. And well, rules are made to be broken. I'm the face of professional bull riding, the golden boy, or at least I was until it all blew up in my face. Now my agent says I have to clean up my image, so I'm stuck with his ball-busting daughter for the rest of the season as my full-time supervision. But I don't need a goddamn babysitter, especially one with skin-tight jeans, a sexy smirk, and a mouth she can't stop running. A mouth I can't stop thinking about. Because Summer isn't just another conquest. She sees the man behind the mask and she doesn't run. She pulls me closer even when she shouldn't. She says this means nothing. I say this means everything. She says there are boundaries we shouldn't cross, that my reputation can't take any more hits, and neither can her damaged heart. I say I'm gonna steal it anyway. Nah, I literally just want to drop everything and read this book. Oh my god. I then have A Little Bit Country by Brian D. Kennedy. I bought this one in London at the beginning of the year, and then because my bookshelves are currently double stacked, this was behind other books and I completely forgot about it and I just remembered it the other day. But again, this is going to be like a small town country romance. We have Emmett, who wants to be country music's biggest gay superstar, but for now he's stuck staying with his aunt in Jackson Hollow, Tennessee for the summer and performing at the amusement park. Luke Barnes hates country music, but he takes a job at the last place he wants, a restaurant at Wonderworld, the theme park. Neither of them's looking for romance, but sparks fly between the two of them. Then some like secret is revealed about their family's past, and then I think they have to sort of like work through it. But basically I'm here for the country music fans. One thing you may not know about me, I love country music. It's my favourite. It makes me so happy. And I feel like the bit on the back here is giving like major Heartstopper vibes, and I'm here for it. Finally, I have 2 thrillers just to like put in between the romance possibly. Again, fun, fast, hopefully thrilling. First one is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. Again, this is on Kindle Unlimited, so I will be reading on my Kindle. So we follow a woman whose name is not in the blurb, but she's a housemaid and she moves into this new house for this woman called Nina, and this woman lives like this perfect upper class life. She sounds like she's not the best person, doesn't really treat her family very well, doesn't treat the housemaid very well, like literally makes mess just for her to clear up. And this housemaid literally just does everything for her. And then the housemaid is thinking about how great it would be to live Nina's life. And one day she decides to try on one of Nina's dresses, which is a bad idea because when Nina finds out, she locks her in her room in the attic. But the end of the blurb says, I reassure myself the Winchesters don't know who I really am. They don't know what I'm capable of. Honestly, I have no idea what that could possibly be alluding to, but I've heard this is like a super twisty, gripping thriller. I know that Sarah Caroli read it and she said that Frida McFadden's writing really reminded her of Alice Feeney, and Alice Feeney wrote Rock, Paper, Scissors, which is one of my favourite thrillers of all time. So I'm really expecting good things from this book. And finally, I have another thriller by one of my favourite thriller authors, the Queen, Lisa Jewell. And the book is Then She Was Gone. I have this on audio on Scribd, and again it's been like in my saved bit for ages and I've just kept scrolling past it, but now I'm really in the mood for it. I'm sure this one has two timelines, which a lot of Lisa Jewell's books do. So in the then, we have this 15-year-old girl called Ellie going missing, and then in the now, it's been 10 years since Ellie disappeared, but her mum has never given up trying to find her. And then the mother, Laurel, meets this guy, Floyd, and sort of like falls instantly for him, ends up moving in with him, and he has a 9-year-old daughter called Poppy, and Poppy is the spitting image of Ellie when Ellie was that age. And suddenly all the memories come flooding back to Laurel, and I believe she's like on a mission to find out once and for all what happened to Ellie. I really love Lisa Jewell's writing. I always fly through her books, so I'm really hoping this is just going to be another fun thriller. So that is it for my July TBR. I am so excited to read all these books. Honestly, I just want to start now. It's currently still June when I'm filming this, so I'm gonna have to wait a couple of days. Let me know if you have read any of these books, if you enjoyed any of them, if you really didn't enjoy any of them. Let me know what's on your July TBR. I would love to know. If you made it to the end of this video, pop the guitar emoji down below just for all the small town country vibes we've been having in a ton of these books. Pop that down below just to let me know that you made it to the end of the video and that you enjoyed your time here. But as always, if you did enjoy the video, please do give it a big thumbs up, subscribe for more bookish content from me, comment down below with any of your thoughts and feelings. I do reply to every single comment. I love you all and I will see you in my next one.